From the title of the video, you already know I just bought a tractor. So a little backstory. About 4 years ago, my grandfather gave me my great-grandfather's property. And it's a little over 160 acres, mostly planted pines, got some hardwoods, some food plots. And the first year or so, the little bit of work I did, I borrowed my father-in-law's John Deere, and it did everything I wanted it to do. I used it here around the house, out there at the farm, does everything we want to do with it. But it became apparent that I didn't want to keep borrowing his tractor. You know, sooner or later I was going to need to grow up and buy my own. And about 6 months ago, I guess, 7 months ago, I kind of got serious. Kind of got in a position where I was going to be able to afford it. And I did the red, orange, green game like everybody else. You know, I went and looked at red tractors. I looked at green tractors. I looked at orange tractors. This was all basically online first to see what kind of horsepower I was wanting. And I was originally going to stay around the mid 30 to 40 horsepower range. So, you know, I went and looked at a Mahindra. I don't even remember the model number. I went to our local John Deere and I stood outside 15 minutes looking at a particular tractor. I don't even remember what it was, like a 45, 44, I don't know. But I stood outside like 15 minutes. Then I went inside and looked at the wall of brochures. So I stood inside looking at the wall of brochures for like 15 minutes. Not a heartbeat in there. Said, "Good morning, can I help you?" So I walked out. Apparently they didn't need my money. And my uncle has had Kubotas for, Lord, he's got two 6800s that he's run on a chicken farm for over the past 20 years. And I don't ever see them have problems. So I went up the next city north to our Kubota dealership. And I originally looked at a 3901. And because I wanted a compact tractor. I didn't need anything really huge, I didn't think. I still don't need anything really huge. But I looked at a 3901 and real quickly jumped to a 4060. Looked at it really hard, started watching videos, looking at specs. Then I found the 4701. You know, I'm constantly going up in horsepower, but I kind of had my heart set on a 4701. And I go up there and look, and I think they had two in stock, but none of their tractors had loaders. They were having a hard time getting loaders. And my salesman, the very first time I went up there, it was raining, but I wanted to go look at a tractor. So I was out there looking at tractors in the rain. He came out and got wet with me. And anytime I had a question, I'd call up there and ask him, or I'd ride up there. It was a pleasure to deal with him. But we were going over that 4701, and we were specking it out, and he was giving me a price, and he told me, he said, "Have you looked into the MX 5400? I said, "No, I hadn't." "Well, hey, Cinder." So we go outside and we look at a 5400, and we got to looking at the specs of the 5400, and it was basically the same price as the 4701. The only problem with the 4701 is that's the only tractor on that chassis. So that's the only tractor that takes that particular loader. And he told me, he said, I've already got 3 loaders allocated for tractors that I've sold. Don't know when you're gonna get your loader. He said, the loaders are easier to get for, say, the L series, you know, the 30 and 2501, whatever, the 3901, that's all the same loader. And on the MX series, they're a different loader, but there's more there's 2 tractors in that series. So that loader's an easier loader to get. So we got to looking at the 5400 and the 6000, the MX, which is the same tractor, other than the 6000's got more horsepower. 5400 also offers gear driven, which is what I wanted. I don't get that in the 6000. So that's the tractor I decided to go with, was the MX 5400, and we put together a small package, and I'm going to go over that here in a minute, but that's what I settled with the MX 5400 with a loader, bucket, and a grapple, because I didn't think I needed a box blade. My grandfather, before he died, gave me his old John Deere 3010, and it had a 7-foot box blade with it. So I said, well, I don't need a box blade. I don't need to buy anything extra. Well, I was wrong. That 7-foot box blade sticks out further than, it's wider than the tractor. So if I'm going in the woods or I cut something sharp, I'm gonna hang. And it happened bunches of times. I'd hang on little saplings, this, that, and the other, and I just got tired of it. So I went and got a box blade and a landscape rake. But anyway, that's what I ended up with. I'm fixing to get everything kind of set up and gonna go over the tractor. I've done a few little mods to the tractor. I'm gonna go over that. I've put some stuff on the tractor, and I've got a few little implements. I don't near have all the implements that I want, but at the time I think I have all that I need. So I'm gonna pause this, get everything kind of situated, and we'll get back and I'll show you the tractor. So basically, that's the whole package. I got my tractor, the 5400, with the Armstrong Ag landscape rake hooked to it. I also have my grapple is Armstrong Ag. My box blade on the other side is Armstrong Ag. And I've got my BR trailer. It's a 20-foot car hauler with 5,200 pound axles. That piece in the middle is awesome. I'm gonna do a closer view of all the implements, but that's a tree puller, tree/fence post puller from MTL Attachments. That thing's pretty sweet. And right beside the box blade, I've got a 3-point trailer hitch with a 2-inch hitch in it. And I was asked if I pick at my wife and say I was voluntold, but she asked me if I would pull a float for our Mardi Gras parade a week and a half ago. And I said yeah. And she said, do you want to pull it with your truck or your tractor? I told her I can drive my truck down the main drag any day of the week. It's not every day I can drive my tractor down the main drag, so I did. And it turned out really, really well. I put some cool Mardi Gras garland all over it. But so that little 3-point trailer hitch, I mean, I had to buy an implement to pull the trailer with, right? So that was a justified implement. So anyway, I'm gonna shut this down and get closer. That's my car/tractor hauler. Nothing real special, everybody's seen them. And let's see, Armstrong Ag 6-foot box blade with the teeth. Actually haven't used it yet. I went up and bought it with my landscape rake, I guess about 2.5 weeks ago. And that is from Titan Attachments. Little 3-point receiver hitch where I can pull trailer or whatever. Don't mind the straps on top. I use the teeth on the grapple to pick it up and tote it around wherever I need to tote it around. And I actually turned it around. Normally it's turned around the other way, or I can just come right into the quick connects and pick it up and go with it. But I turned it around where I could show it off. I'm pretty sure these come in, I know they come in orange and black. I don't know if they come in green or not. I almost think they do. The company is based out of Georgia. I've seen the Titan versions of these. One thing I do like about this one, as you can see there, and there's another one in the back, it has grease zerts, and there's one inside that housing there. It's got grease zerts everywhere, so I can keep it greased. And then, of course, my bucket. That is turned out to be exactly the way my salesman said it was going to be. He said, you're going to take the bucket home, you might use it once, you're going to drop it, and you probably won't ever use it again. I've used it once, and I know I'll find uses for it. But man, I use that thing there all the time. So that's the 5400 four-wheel drive with the 1065 loader. I really like it a lot. I got my saw haul put on there. I have storage that I put in the pipes. Let me get this camera set up. I'm gonna open one of them up and show you a little about it. All right, so you can see on this one, this is just a cap. It's a 4-inch, what do they call it? A sewer clean out that's threaded with a cap. And on this one, I drilled a hole and I put this bolt in here. I don't know, I've got another cap, I just hadn't put it on yet. I don't like the idea of possibly water getting in the hole that I drilled there. So I've got this thing right here that's from the plumbing section at Lowe's that fits absolutely perfectly. And it rides in the pin hole for the loader pin, never falls out. The front one here, I keep my chain in, and I've got the whole pipe sleeved with a piece of 4-inch, the green sewer, the green drain pipe. And then I'm gonna do a video on how I put this together. It's just gonna basically be a reenactment because I've already got it done. But I'm gonna go through all the parts of what I used. You know, and it's nothing fancy, but it sure serves the purpose. And like on this one here, I keep hand tools. I've got a wrench, you know, a pry bar, pliers. There's a small hammer in there. The other side, I have gloves, my chainsaw file, my chainsaw wrench. You know, I've just got stuff in it. And of course, I've got my saw haul, which it was good and bad at the time. I didn't know a whole lot about saw haul, so I talked him into giving it to me when I bought the tractor. He's like, all right, whatever. So I get home and the bracket is for like a side-by-side. It didn't have the bracket for the loader arm. So I hem-hawed around a little while, and I said, well, I'll build a bracket for it. No big deal. And I never did. And it got to where I was needing the saw a lot. So I got on Saw Hall's website, and the correct bracket wasn't but $35. So I ordered the correct bracket and got it on. And I've got this lock on here because I take the tractor to work with me from time to time. And, you know, it sits at the fire department with me. Or if I'm doing any work on it, it'll sit overnight. Or like the day of the parade, I didn't want it to be sitting anywhere while I was doing something else and somebody come up and steal the saw. So this is a bicycle chain, a bicycle lock, and it goes through the hole for where the pin goes and goes through the arm, so nobody's gonna steal the chainsaw. Let me put this back. And like I said, that little thing, you can't see it from here, but it rides right there perfectly. And let's see. One of the other mods that I made, we'll walk around here. I know it's kind of shaking around. Well, the original bracket that came with the saw haul, I cut a piece of flat bar and I got some bolts, and I ended up making me a tray, put me an ammo can on, and I painted the ammo can, ordered me a sticker off of eBay. See, I've got the pipe storage on both sides, and that's really about all. I did get the third function for the grapple, and I also got them to put me a rear remote, one rear remote, because I have a hydraulic wood splitter that was my grandfather's that I'm going to rebuild, and I plan to replace that piece of junk. That's the poorest excuse. That's kind of like mattresses for a camper. You go buy a $30,000 or $40,000 camper and they give you a cardboard box to sleep on that feels like concrete. You know, this is a really, really nice tractor and they give you that. But I'm gonna replace it. But here's the landscape rake. I like it. It's a medium to light duty. You know, it needs a little bit more weight, and I'm gonna figure out exactly how to put a little bit more weight on it. But like I said, I've got a video dropping after this one does, of the first time in use for this rake and my thoughts on it and how I was able to successfully use it the way I wanted to use it. So with that being said, that's my 5400 package in a nutshell. I would like to get a 6-foot rototiller for it, and I want to get a set of pallet forks. I can't really see anything else I would need at the moment. I really want the pallet forks more than the rototiller. My father-in-law's got a 6-foot disc, so I use the disc when we're doing food plots or gardens or whatever. But all in all, I'm very satisfied with the 5400. Like I said, I've got this video, which is going to be my first one on the tractor. I have another video almost finished on the landscape rake. I'm going to put one together for the tree fence puller. That thing's pretty awesome. And I'm going to do a little more in-depth video of how I put the storage in the pipes. And I also have a grill guard that may or may not already be here, and I'm fixing to put it on. But that's a whole separate video. I will tell you, this thing's awesome. I got it from, if you're on the MX series Facebook page, there's a guy named Dawson Harris that makes it, and I'll put that video up soon. It's awesome. So all in all, I'm happy. Would I buy this tractor again? I hope I don't have to, because I hope it lasts forever. But yes, I would buy this tractor again. I would recommend this tractor to anybody. The only difference between this one, like I said, and the 6000, and this one offers it too. The 6000 is just hydrostatic transmission. I wanted gear driven because that's all I've ever had. And I was able to get the tractor for a little less money than a hydrostatic transmission. Is gear driven the way to go? For some people, yeah. For some people, no. So anyway, y'all have a great day. I'm glad I was able to share the tractor with you, and look forward to upcoming videos. Like and subscribe. Thank you.